Alright, let's all calm down. Let's all calm down. The game isn't over. It's half time. But my word, what a professional performance from the Blues. After that horror show against West Brom, just what the doctor ordered. Oh, mate, Porto were good as well at times. I know it's a Champions League quarter-final, but they were good, and Chelsea was super professional. What a commanding position. 2-0 away from home. Goal scored by Mason Mount and Chilwell. Things you love to see. This is, of course, your match review of Chelsea's win in the Champions League against Porto away. 2-0. Such a commanding spot. Boys and girls, drop a like on the video if you are absolutely amped from this result, and consider subscribing to this channel if you're new and you want daily Chelsea content as we get into today's match review. Alright then, it's worth mentioning Chelsea pretty much had their full complement of players, and Porto are without their two best players who are responsible this season combined for 40% of their goals, who you'd imagine, I think both will be ready for the next leg or be back for the next leg. So you got to think about that. But Chelsea, to go away, score 2 goals with no reply. And I've got to say it now while I remember it in my head. At half time, I think Porto had 1 XG or just under 1. Chelsea had 0.05 XG from that Mason Mount goal. It just shows you how he pulled an incredible goal out of nowhere, out of a nothing chance. A nothing chance. We score an excellent goal, go up in the second half, play really well. Ben Chilwell, loads of individual work at the very end, scores another one for Chelsea. Great touch before his finish, taking it around the keeper, tucking it away in front of Pepe. Just superb. We're going to go through how the game went. We're going to go through player performances, so settle in. But first, let's talk about the lineup and look at that who scored graphic to see how Chelsea set up against Porto. Of course, Sergio Conceição went with a 4-4-2 pragmatic defensive formation, but they did press high at times. Chelsea went with a 3-4-1-2, kind of a false 9 formation. Mendy, of course, in goal. Christensen played instead of Thiago Silva, flanked by Rudiger and Azpilicueta as expected. The fullbacks were Chilwell and Reece James, like I predicted. My predicted lineup was pretty immaculate, except for up top, actually. Jovetic in midfield, Mason Mount and Timo Werner behind Kai Havertz as a false 9. Now in this game, Mason Mount and Kai were kind of swapping as the false 9. It was really Timo Werner that was staying down that left channel, a functional midfield of Jorginho and Kovacic, and obviously the wing backs. Like I said in my match preview, James and Chilwell. Now, off the bat, Porto have got the dark arts in them, little pushes as you jump for headers and aerial duels and things like that, and they were really going for it, diving, this, that and the other, but I'm not going to slate them because they played so well, especially in the opening phase, like I said, without their 2 best players. Really pressed Chelsea high at times, made us a bit uncertain, defended incredibly well, often with a back 6 out of possession, but that's how they play, and I don't want to say they're really negative because they're not. They just defend really well and really deep when they need to, and they're not a Galactico team, man, so they're absolutely afforded to do that. They're allowed to do that. Now, Chelsea were put under pressure a few times, and Mendy made some great saves in this game. We'll be talking about, again, player performances in a bit. But when Chelsea could play through the high press, generally they controlled the game. The first goal, Mason Mount, came from a pretty lovely little pass from Jorginho, breaking the players, breaking the lines. Mason Mount takes it on his wrong foot, turns, plays it forward and plays it across the keeper. Ever since Thomas Tuchel's come in, he's learnt this new pirouette move. Now, I don't want to say he never did it under Lampard, but it certainly looks like he's only started doing it under Tuchel, that take the ball and turn. I know that's something Tuchel told. Why is that hard to say? Tuchel told the players to do, but Mason Mount seemingly does it the best. What a lovely goal. Like I said, 0.05 XG, executes it. Chelsea go into half-time 1-0 up and control the game with possession, so you feel like they deserved it, but when you look at the chances, Porto had the better chances. I believe they had 8 shots to Chelsea's 1 shot in that first half. Chelsea's obviously were on target, and I think only Porto had 2 on target. Mendy made some good saves. Right, in the second half as well, they came out, they pressured us at times, but Chelsea did develop, grow into the game, looked better. Obviously, Thomas Tuchel could turn to his really strong bench, bring on the likes of Thiago Silva, N'Golo Kante, Olivier Giroud, Pulisic, and eventually Emerson as well, and shuffle things around. We went to a more defensive back five with Thiago Silva coming on and Azpilicueta becoming a wing back, so more solid, do you know what I mean? Giroud didn't get involved much, but you know, just him occupying centre backs as a big lump is pretty decent. And of course at the end, Ben Chilwell running down the flank, winning the ball, doing some wonderful individual work, taking it around, being really calm and concise, and scoring the second away goal, which puts us in a very commanding position. Let's talk about player performances now and go through who played well. Right off the bat, Mendy was absolutely excellent, sort of top 4 in performers, and that doesn't sound like high praise, but it really was, because we had some excellent performers out there. Maybe top 3, I don't know. He put some good saves in, loads of high claims, confident play, and saved Chelsea. Stood up when we needed him to, as a Chelsea goalkeeper should, but he was excellent in my opinion. Now, out of the centre-backs, it's very difficult to say who shone. Christensen was chosen over Thiago Silva. Good defensively, yet he was missing all these long diagonals that he was doing, which is what Thiago Silva does perfectly. So raised eyebrows, but he did nothing really wrong. Defensively as a unit, we were good. Having him back with Azpilicueta and Rudiger obviously offered good chemistry and helped us keep a clean sheet. So across all the centre-backs, I'm going to say good, a really good performance, but no one really shone for me. Maybe Azpilicueta in terms of the blocks that he made, so maybe he was just, slightly better. Now, Reece James was magnificent. He came off quite early, but I think it was more, a defensive move. I don't think he was playing badly or injured at all. I was thinking man of the match, possibly Reece James. Absolutely running things, bodying people, creating chances, making defensive blocks. England starting right back. If you look at, I know I'm going to bring it up, Trent Alexander-Arnold's poor performance against Real Madrid. I know it's Porto, but then Reece James, just levels, man. Absolutely incredible. Possibly my man in the match. Let me know yours down in the comments. Now, Chilwell, I thought was decent all game. A lot of people on Twitter thought he was really good, but I thought, compared to James, he was nowhere near as good. And then he just goes and scores that absolute imperative, lovely goal. And he's up there. He's up with one of the top performers. And what an excellent game Ben Chilwell had. In the midfield, Kovacic looked absolutely shagged when he came off. He was covered in sweat. He played, absolutely really worked so hard. So really incredible from Kovacic. Jorginho was good. I don't think he was inspirational, but a superb assist for Mason Mount. Kai Havertz, it was okay. It wasn't really shining. You could see he's got incredible talent, but he's yet to sort of settle and gel with chemistry. So probably one of the most uninspiring performers on the pitch. Likewise Timo Werner, although he did do some good runs and good industry. Both of the Germans were taken off relatively early in the substitutions. Mason Mount, though, what a goal, what a performance, and again, possibly my man of the match with Reece James or maybe Mendy. Chilwell was great, but I'm just not sure. But yeah, it was a little bit disappointing from the Germans, although I feel pretty good about Werner because he works really hard. He always seems to be doing the right thing tactically from the coach, probably why he gets picked a lot. And Kai Havertz has just got world-class talent in there that I'm waiting for it to explode. But you've got players like Mount that just know the team, they're really confident, and they're just playing so well. So, you can afford to have guys growing around them when we do stuff like this. Excellent. In terms of substitutes that came on, Kante made a mistake, but looks pretty good otherwise. Giroud barely touched the ball. Do you know what I mean? And other than that, it was more sort of functional, shifting, sort of time wasting. So let's talk about this game a little bit more and move away from player performances. Now, Chelsea were favourites prior to this match, and they will be hella favourites now to qualify for the semi-final of the Champions League, probably against Real Madrid. But this tie isn't over. Yes, it's 2 away goals, but we take them back to the bridge. Well, not the bridge. We play in the exact same stadium, and away goals will then count for them with their 2 best players back. Like I said, 40% of their goals have come from these 2 absent players, They'll be back. Porto always believe that's one of their strengths, so this tie is far from over. Don't get complacent and do not get overconfident, my friends. But what amazing result regardless. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know your man of the match. Like the video. If you want to help me out, consider subscribing for daily content on this channel, my friends. So enjoy the football. Mwah. Mwah. And I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I love me bitch.